Yes guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into the podcast today, I would like to thank the guys at the Aroma Restaurant, a Chinese buffet in Basildon, Essex, located at Festival Leisure Park, for letting us use their location to film today. Make sure to follow them on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the description down below. On screen, you can see some of the food that they serve. I would like to thank them for treating us to a nice meal after we filmed in their restaurant. Without further ado, let's get into the podcast and enjoy the video.
One of the best experiences that you can do at university is to go and play a sport for a team. East London basketball was no exception, really. If I wanted to pursue a career that I really enjoyed, coaching was something of an avenue for me. There was one specific course I wanted to do, and only at the time 5 or 6 universities did that course. It was sports coaching. UEL are very catering to the wider community in the sense that they ease a lot of their students in.
You alright mate, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well. Welcome to the Chinwag podcast. Just introduce yourself to the viewers in this different location of ours today, not at my usual studio, but just introduce yourself.
So I go by the name of Ish Gwegweni. I am a sports coaching graduate, met Ali through uni, and at the moment I'm currently doing videography. So
Lovely stuff. So you said you met me at uni. Let's go all the way back to the start when you were a child and your early childhood. What sports were you playing? I can tell by your t-shirt already, but what sports were you playing growing up?
So I was in love with basketball. Still am to this day, to be honest. But played basketball, played a bit of football as well. I think it got to a point, I think I hit about 12, and I had to pick between basketball and football. Because I was playing for a football team, I was playing for a basketball team, and they were both affiliated. So
what team was that? Do you want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, a shout out to NASA, Newham All Stars Sports Academy, based in Newham, East London, exactly where I went to uni as well, so homegrown, born and raised in Stratford, moved out to Essex, so I'm from the east side of town, but yeah.
So why did you choose basketball over football, and why did you love it so much?
I think we had Coach Chris come into our school around when I was in about 10, year 5, and I just fell in love with the game. Like, I just fell in love with the aspects of it. I like to use my hands a lot, so it was something that it just came natural to me personally. And when I had to pick between football and basketball, I remember that being a hard decision, but ultimately I had to pick something that I would enjoy for the long run. And I'd just see longevity playing. So
when you chose basketball over football, did you stay at that academy or did you move to a different team?
So I stayed at the academy, so I stayed with NASA from about 13 to 15, and then I moved house to Essex, and I carried on playing basketball, but started playing for Brentwood File.
So what position do you play in basketball? I'm not too familiar with basketball.
Yeah.
So just tell me what position you play and what role you have in the team.
So there's 5 positions in basketball. They tend to range from high order. So the short is tending to be the point guard. Then you have a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and a center. So those are the 5. Me being around 5'9", I played the point guard and interchanged with being a shooting guard too, but yeah.
Did you always play basketball, or did you venture off into coaching from a young age?
So I remember being in year 8, around 13, and being inspired by my PE teacher. I went to a boys' school in East London called Rokeby, so me playing basketball, getting involved with the sport, and seeing how certain teachers in my school had such a massive impact on me, made me want to help others, coach others. I think it started in year 9 when I was assistant coaching the year 8s, and we got to a national final.
Lovely, well done.
So I saw something that I could really help, even if it was just my presence and being there. Because I'm pretty sure in year 9 I wasn't doing anything major, do you know what I mean?
Do you prefer coaching or playing? At that age, did you say you prefer coaching or playing?
At that age, I preferred playing, but I knew that mentality was that I would need to go, and if I wanted to pursue a career that I really enjoyed, coaching was something of an avenue for me.
So do you prefer coaching or playing now compared to your early years?
Still playing.
Still playing.
Yeah, still playing.
You play for a team now?
Yeah, so we just finished playing for Essex Rockets, playing local league. So basketball's something of a hobby for me now, as opposed to something where I'm looking to like push and pursue in. I still love the game, still appreciate it, just from watching it from a professional standpoint and also a amateur standpoint. So
I know that you became a basketball referee as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very rogue route to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you pursue basketball refereeing?
Basketball refereeing, if the viewers don't know, it was my first job.
Okay.
It was my first ever job. Like, I remember I was 14 and I wanted to make a tiny bit of money, and they introduced me to the idea of just becoming a referee. So I said, yeah, why not? I'll do a level 1. Did my level 1 in refereeing, understood the basics, started refereeing school games, and yeah, just flew from there.
So I'm going to ask you a similar question. Do you prefer refereeing, playing, or coaching?
In the order.
So which one do you prefer?
In the order that you stated, I prefer playing first, overall, coaching second, and refereeing third.
So do you still referee to this day, or have you gone past that route and you just finished playing for Essex Rockets?
So I don't referee anymore. However, if someone like needed me to come down, I might referee if it's like a friendly thing.
Good money, yeah?
No. Do you know what it is? Referees don't really referee for the money, if I'm being real.
How different is it to football refereeing, where they get a lot of abuse from the side? Do they get a lot of abuse from the side in basketball as well?
In basketball, you don't really get too much abuse. The culture in England isn't so much that people really attack the referees. Like, maybe I haven't been at a high-stake game, but like from what I've witnessed, it's not... Basketball results tend to be made on a decision. So if you're in a close game and the referee makes a certain decision, that can alter the game. But then ultimately you may look at it and go, the 6 turnovers I had in the first half were the reason why we lost by 1 point.
Right, okay.
However, the fans may look at it and go, if the referee hadn't blown that in the last second of the game, that would have changed the result of the game. Yeah. Okay. Whereas football, the culture is that the referee's made
a bad decision,
and that's ruined the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, and the referee will get abuse for it, and that's the culture, I guess. But hopefully that changes over time. Referees get protected because it's a mental game being a ref. That's a tough mental game because you need to understand that there's so much at stake for both teams. And ultimately, each team wants to win, so they may do whatever they need to do to get there. So you just gotta stay focused and mentally be prepared for what comes.
I see. So obviously, we met each other at University of East London, which I've mentioned before on my channel, and you're repping East London basketball. So how did you choose University of East London, and how did you end up there?
So University of East London was home. Like, I had always been here, and before I moved out to Essex, this was the only university I knew. In the grand scheme of things, I actually said when I was about 8 years old that I would never come to UBL.
No way.
Because you got to understand, I lived in Stratford. Yeah. It was on my doorstep, and I was like, I don't want to stay home. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not coming. I'm not going to UBL. I wouldn't do that. Grand scheme of things, I kind of grew up. Certain things in my life happened, certain changes that I needed to make coming out of college, and I felt that the University of East London was the right place for me to be at, just because it was convenient. It was far enough away from my home now in Essex for me to be like, I can commute or I can live away from home, but I did want to come back just after the regeneration of East London, and just to make an impact, really.
So what did you study? Were there a few different things that you wanted to choose, or was there one specific course you wanted to choose and you took that?
There was one specific course I wanted to do, and only at the time 5 or 6 universities did that course. And it was sports coaching, and it's not the same as sports science, as most people would kind of assume, but it was an emphasis on coaching, the philosophy and understanding what makes a good coach, how to better improve your coaching skills and just be a better teacher or tutor.
So what was it like studying sports coaching? Obviously, you've done some coaching stuff before. Did you enjoy it? Was it what you thought it would be, or was it? Well, just tell me what you thought about the course when you started.
So when I started the course, I was very skeptical because, like, I think I'd come to the university on the basis that, like, I wanted to make a change, and I think the first few weeks I was very much like, did I need to be at uni to learn these things? But UEL are very catering to the wider community in the sense that they ease a lot of their students in to the university process, whereas I may have been a student that didn't need that kind of easing in, so I didn't find the first 3 weeks of university beneficial. However, I did go there, I did attend lessons and all sorts, but then once we really got into the nitty-gritty and the course content, and you just saw a massive change. You saw certain concepts that I didn't really understand or know about, certain beliefs that you as a coach may have, certain biases that you may have, and I was willing to really make changes to do these things once I really got into it.
What kind of changes were those when you said you got into the nitty-gritty stuff?
So, like, philosophical changes. So sometimes it's not about the coach, but it might be about the player. How do you connect with players? How do you better understand them so that you can get the best out of them? Do you have a one-size-fits-all kind of process, or do you cater to specific individuals? And that I really understood, and I wanted to get better at, and it made me want to do better.
So what other sporting coaching qualifications did you acquire when you were at University of East London? Is it just basketball, or are there more coaching qualifications and certificates that you have?
So at the university, we were given the opportunity, and it said it in the leaflet, you can attain more coaching qualifications. And so I decided to go and get my level 2 in dodgeball.
I got that as well.
Is it? Where'd you get yours?
I got that at one of the coaching companies I worked for after uni.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, no, my story, I went to Manchester. I took a the coach. Took a coach at 12 midnight with my friend Dom. We got there at 6 a.m. We done the course, and then we got back on the bus at about 10 p.m. that night. back to London. So yeah, the best £100 I ever spent. They are not £100 anymore.
Mine for free.
Yeah. Shout out to you, man. Should have got involved with the coaching company. But yeah, no. So dodgeball level 2, done my tennis level 1 as a reward for scoring in the top 10 percentile at university for one of our coaching modules. I did my swimming coaching level 1, courtesy of East London Sport. They ran an initiative called SCAMP, which was sports coaching.
Oh God, come on, Ish.
Oh, I should have. Sports coaching and mentoring program.
Good stuff.
That's it. This is 6 years ago, you know.
Wow, big up. We've known each other for quite a long time though.
We have.
Wow.
We really have.
Started uni in 2015, and then obviously it's now 2022.
Yeah,
So
that's it. That's actually 7 years.
You know, it's a long time.
A long time. Been a good few years though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started YouTube channel. nearly at 1K. So make sure you subscribe to my channel.
Let's get Ali to 1K.
Hopefully when this comes out, I'll be at 1K because this will be out.
He needs to monetize.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 1K is the help him, please.
So is there any other sporting coaching qualifications you got?
So swimming level 1, dodgeball, basketball, tennis,
So is there more?
and fitness instructor level 2.
So apart from basketball, because I know that is your passion and your ultimate sport, which is your favourite sport to coach apart from basketball?
I love being a fitness instructor, sorry. I just love helping people achieve their goals. And it's kind of beneficial for me in the sense that like the gratitude that I get from like helping people is wonderful. So yeah, that's one that I'm quite passionate about.
So move on to your time at University of East London.
Mm-hmm.
So from the T-shirt you're wearing, and I know this obviously.
Yes.
So you played for East London basketball.
Yeah.
So what was that like playing for a team, playing for a uni team?
Playing for a uni team was amazing. One of the best experiences that you can do at university is to go and play a sport for a team. East London basketball was no exception, really. I was fully ingrained and I bought into the culture. Like the guys from the first team to the third team at the time, we were all like one cohesive unit to an extent. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone knew everyone. Guys on the first team would train with guys on the third team, would put up shots. The culture was that like, yo, bring your A game, show and prove, work hard and you will progress. That was the culture, and everyone at the club and in this like the team or part of the basketball club bought into that. So yeah.
So what were your favourite memories from your time at uni and playing basketball at uni? It doesn't have to be basketball related, but it could be with your basketball teammates on and off the court.
One of the times would have been like the socials. So the socials were...
I knew you were going to say that.
No, but the socials were good because it was the one time where you could really like socialize with everyone in the club. So even if you didn't like go out often, like you would be at the social just because it was the one time where like if you don't know anyone in first team, you can get introduced to people in first team. If you didn't know anyone in third team, you could have conversations with those guys there. And everyone kind of like became closer through the socials.
I see.
So
it's like that for me in badminton as well.
Mm-hmm.
So did you just play basketball as a player, or did you do coaching or any other things at University of East London?
So my time at University of East London was quite a long one. So I did play, I coached I think it was my third year or my fourth year, I coached the third team. No, I coached the fourth team, sorry. The basketball program over my time being there grew exponentially to the point where the second team when I started were in Division 3A, and when I ended, they were in Division 1B. So they couldn't actually get promoted any higher because they only allow one team in the Premier Division
From each uni?
From each uni. Yeah. So that was the cap for our second team. So the fact that I was able to be a part of that process of us going from 3A to 1B was incredible.
So did you do any other... So we've gone on a little tangent.
Yeah, sorry, apologies.
We've gone on a little tangent, but did you do anything else apart from coaching and playing?
Yes, I was chairman.
What was that like? How did you get elected for that?
So in my second year at uni, I was secretary. It was like a voluntary role. I put my hand up, said I wanted to be a part of it. And I had a couple of ideas I wanted to implement. And like my chairman at the time, which was Michael, was amazing. Like he would like really help me. He'd give me like encouragement to keep doing things. Like if anything I wanted to do, I could go to him and just be like, yeah, I want to do this. And he'd be like, yeah, let's make it happen. Come. So moving into third year, there was competition for the chairman role. And I was able to get it, which I'm incredibly grateful for. And like everyone around me, being Dom, Michael was around, Junior was a massive part of it. They were instrumental in the club's success. If I'm forgetting any names, I do apologize. Please don't crucify me.
So you said you were chairman. What ideas did you try and implement as your time as chairman?
I just wanted to change the narrative that the basketball club had. Like, we had a massive narrative that we don't do anything, we're lazy, blah blah blah, and it was just like, no, like, I just feel like we're not connected to what the university was doing. So the first thing I did was, with a discussion with the committee, we wanted to create tops, like these ones exactly. So if you were there during that time at UBL and part of the basketball club, you would have been able to receive one of these tops. And it was just to show, like, all right, we now have a kind of uniform top that everyone in the club has, not just like first team having their own things, but like everyone from the men's to the girls, like everyone was able to get one of these tops. So what then happened was we had our social in order to raise money to get these tops. And
so what was that like?
Socials wise, the team that I had around me, Junior, Dom, myself, there was a few others that, like, I'm forgetting now. So like I said, I'm sorry, I can only apologize.
I'll add their names in the edit if you remind me.
If I remember, for sure.
Yeah.
But we had a marketing strategy. We created posters. We got the word out, and just through the basketball club's cohesiveness, the numbers that we had, from the women's to the men's, just getting the word out to say there's a social, we were able to raise a record amount of like 1,600.
Wow, well done. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think speaking to the sports office that year, that they explained to us that this was the most amount of money that any club had ever raised at a social at the Underground. Underground is the bar at University of East London. It's now called the SU bar, but yeah.
So at uni, it seems like you've accomplished a lot, which you should be very proud of, to be fair. What other things that did you accomplish at uni? Other courses and other stuff like that? So
at university, during my time at uni, like my second year was quite instrumental in like my growth as a professional. I was able to do a 200-hour volunteer. Oh, sorry, let me say that again. I was able to complete 200 hours of volunteer work. And
doing what?
Literally a multitude of things. I think one of them was working with East London Sport on the SCAMP program that I spoke about. So
what does SCAMP stand for again?
Sports coaching and mentoring program.
Okay, good stuff. Good man. Good man.
But so I went from transitioning to being one of the Scampees, which was a student involved in the initiative, to actually helping monitor and administer the initiative in my second year. So I did hours there. I was fortunate enough to work with a school within the compound of East London, and run their PE curriculum. So I was the sports coordinator or the PE coordinator for their.
How did you get involved with that?
Word of mouth.
Okay.
It was literally a person who ran SCAMP recommended me to.
I'm sure ask what SCAMP stands for again.
We ain't gonna do that. But yeah, he recommended me for the job. David Cosford at the time, who was our director of sport, said yeah,
nice.
It'll be good.
So what other stuff did you? So I know you had an internship at Sport England.
Yes.
So talk about that a little bit and what that involved.
The University of East London were doing a mentorship program, and I got involved in that, and I was able to meet with someone within my field of study, and this person worked at Sport England. Amazing mentor. Like, she helped me so much, and still helps me to this day with certain things. So it was so instrumental in me developing as a professional, understanding the world outside of uni, and just having implementation into actually getting into the field of work. And from there I applied for the Sports England internship, which was a highly prestigious internship that there's one spot for every like 500 people that apply. Yeah.
And you got it?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to get the job. Worked at Sport England for 12 weeks, which was such an amazing experience.
So what are your favourite memories from working at Sport England?
I was able to give a grant of 75k to a organisation that was going through like a redevelopment, or it was part of the small grants fund that Sport England provided, and I remember understanding how that was going to change their progression, and that was like quite heartwarming for me personally.
Okay, so now that you've left uni, what would you think your biggest accomplishment at your time at University of East London was?
Ooh, that's a good question. My biggest accomplishment.
We ask good questions on the Chinwag podcast.
It makes sense, man. Shout out to the Chinwag podcast. We love that. We love that. Biggest accomplishment would have been... Wow. My biggest accomplishment.
The one you're most proud of.
One I'm most proud of. I was given an award, that Sports Award, I think.
Okay.
I remember being just super grateful for that, and understanding that, like...
What was the award for?
Service to sport.
Nice.
And I remember receiving that award, and I received it with my boy Dom and Lloyd as well. And I remember thinking to myself, everything I had done at East London didn't go unnoticed. I remember thinking to myself, and not to say anyone ever like doubted that, like people always gave me props. I'd say that I got my flowers as such, but like I was super grateful that there was some recognition from the institution that I had served as a member of East London in some way, shape or form. What
year was that you received the award?
2018.
2018.
Yes.
Oh, I remember presenting an award and I was bricking it on stage. I was like, please don't say the wrong words, please don't say the wrong words, and I managed to style it out okay. But I did present an award which was very nerve-wracking, especially at the O2 as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Get on stage and hopefully don't fall over.
Yeah.
So now that you've left uni, what do you do now?
What do I do now? So right now, I'm doing freelance videography, so as such as cinematographer. So I specialize in lighting, cameras, trying to get the best kind of footage for the client as such. I'm fully enjoying it, understanding the world of business, and hopefully, in the grand scheme of things, I want to create my own YouTube channel, which I have started. But put out content on the YouTube channel.
Put any content out yet?
Yeah, there's content out there.
Okay, I'll link that below.
I appreciate that. On the Moving Wave, name of the channel.
Okay.
So, yeah, On the Moving Wave is the channel. That's the
you should have told me, then I would have subscribed.
Do you know what?
I didn't know about it.
Subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff. New video coming out within the next week.
Okay.
And that's going to be a training.
I reckon this video, your video will be out before this comes out anyway.
You reckon?
Yeah, because this will be out 27th of April on a Thursday. I don't know if that's Thursday, but double check on that.
Possibly.
So how did you get into videography from sports coaching? Because obviously not many people do this. Because I did sports journalism and now I'm doing coaching.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with that?
I think it was like it was a story in the making. I don't even know how to explain it, but really, I had started the channel when I was 13.
Wow.
Yeah, like, I remember it came from like me and a group of friends at school. We called it, the group was called On The Move. And so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna create a YouTube channel. What am I gonna call it? And I tried to do On The Move. Didn't work because it had been taken.
How many videos are you into your YouTube career?
3. But I only started uploading last like 6 months ago.
Right, okay.
The first video was an intro video. Second 2 are YouTube shorts.
Right, okay.
Which I don't know if they count as videos.
Well, if it's on there, I'll give it to you.
Okay, but yeah, 3. So, but more so than anything, yeah, this has been time in the making, especially when I was doing events at the university, promoting events, trying to do stuff for like social media for the university. Yeah, I did a lot of work for social media for the university, so I'd been practicing these things, but then it was more so, when am I going to start doing it for myself? Like, how am I going to implement this?
I get what you mean. So, are you still involved in basketball with your videography work, or just?
Yeah, so I'm still involved in basketball, still play. I want to start going like courtside to like video games. So I may get in contact with my local club, or may get in contact with the Lions. See if there's any opportunities for me to just come down and like shadow, like. But more so than anything, I'm starting out the process of videography.
What do you love most about videography?
The idea that I can tell a story through the lens.
That is deep. I love that answer.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
That's the big thing for me. I'm able to showcase something from a different perspective, from a different point of view. Don't get me wrong, I'm not Spielberg yet, but I'm trying to show and do something special with that.
Yeah.
So even if it's something that of my own, I can actually just say, look, this is my work, this is how I want to be recognized, and this is how ultimately I want to help people remember their memories. That's the true love that I found in videography.
What kind of projects have you worked on in videography?
So far, at the current moment, I've done concerts. I was able to shoot at Stormzy's concert at the O2 in March.
Nice.
I was backstage for Wiz Khalifa.
Wow.
So I was able to do some behind the scenes for Wiz Khalifa's night in London. I've done birthdays. What else have I?
Now the Chinwag podcast.
And now the Chinwag podcast. Shout out to Ali for having me on. Honestly, like, it's been special.
Thank you very much. So now we're coming towards the end of the podcast. Before we finish, what would you like to plug to the viewers watching? So look into the camera and tell them.
Come on. So shout out to On The Moving Wave. That's the Instagram. We've got a YouTube channel. Go check it out. We're here to stay. We're trying to do some big things in 2022. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. But before we go, I have a gift for you, Ali.
For me?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you very
Chinwag
much.
Podcast.
I'll have a look at what it... Oh, it's a football.
It's a
Thank
football.
you very much, Ish. Thank you.
Mate, yeah. So,
that's what I'm saying.
absolutely love that.
Thank you very much, Ish. I appreciate it a lot.
No worries, man.
Thank you very much for coming on. But as I said, make sure you check out Ish's pages, and I'll link that below, and I'll be on screen. But if you enjoyed that podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Ish's channel as well. Big up, Ish, and thank you for joining. And don't forget, I'll see you later for more.
Raps. Love that.
Thank you so much,
no
bro.
No worries. Did we press record on this?
Yeah. It's the blue light's flashing.
Okay.
Check how long.